Welcome to the Type 2 Chef. I'm Mike Ventura, and today we're going to be making a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner that are all low in carbs, diabetic friendly, and big on flavor. First dish we're going to be making is going to be steel cut oatmeal. So we have here our water boiling. We're going to add our oatmeal along with a pinch of salt to our boiling water. We're going to give it a stir. And now that's going to simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes until most of the water has been absorbed. And the oatmeal is going to begin to soften at this point. The steel cut oats are preferable because they enter your bloodstream slower. It's what they call good carbs as opposed to some of the bad carbs that get into your blood a little faster. There's a fair amount of carbohydrate in it, but with the right portion size, it's something you could definitely work into your diabetic diet. Okay, and we're also going to be making today an egg white frittata with goat cheese. We use egg whites. Again, we're going to lower the saturated fat in the dish by using just the whites. The way you want to separate them, just give the egg a crack, separate the shell, and just go back and forth until the egg white has dropped into the bowl, and then you can just toss the yolk away. We're going to be serving it with shiitake mushrooms, which we're going to take and just slice. So just give them a slice about 1/8 of an inch thick or so. We're going to use 3/4 of a cup. You can stack a few on top of each other and that'll speed things up for you. That looks like enough. So then we're just going to cook them in a small amount of oil. This is a non-stick pan, so by using a non-stick pan you can actually use a little bit less cooking fat in the pan. Get the pan nice and hot. The mushrooms will take a few minutes. If you can't find shiitake mushrooms, you can substitute another type of mushroom, or you could mix different ones. Season with a little bit of our sea salt and our freshly ground pepper. Okay, while that's cooking, we'll take a look at our oatmeal.
Action.
So we'll give the oatmeal a stir. It's doing fine. It's absorbing some of the liquid, starting to soften. It's got a few more minutes to go. So we'll come back to our mushrooms, and we just want to give them a toss. Just a few more minutes there. I'm going to add another drop of oil. They look a little bit dry. So we'll toss that through. Now they've got about another minute to go. Okay, this was the egg whites from 5 large eggs, which gives us about 3/4 of a cup, which is perfect for one frittata. Okay, the mushrooms look good. Now we're going to lower the heat a little bit to medium. One thing you want to be careful of with the egg whites is that you don't overcook them. You don't want them to take on any brown color. They should just be nice and white and fully set. And a medium heat is what you want to use for that. So now with our rubber spatula, we're just going to start pulling in the sides of the frittata. And basically what you're doing is you're replacing the cooked part of the egg with the raw part by doing that. So you can see that's starting to come together. The whole omelet's starting to set. It's doing fine. I'm just checking on the bottom to make sure that it's not browning, so we know we have our heat at the right setting. Now a frittata is traditionally a flat omelet as opposed to a folded omelet. And there's a lot of variations on it. Okay, now it's just about set on the top, as you can see. So now the fun part, we're going to flip it over using your spatula. We're going to cook it on the other side a little bit. Now at this point I'm going to turn the heat off. Again, we don't want to overcook the omelet. We don't want it to brown at all. So there's enough heat on the pan that's going to cook the bottom side of the frittata. That's known as carryover cooking. And if you understand that, you'll stop overcooking a lot of the food that you've been making at home. Now we're just going to top it with some goat cheese. And there's enough heat on the omelet again to just slightly melt the goat cheese. Sometimes they're finished in the oven. If you're making a larger one, it could be finished in the oven, but a frittata this size could easily be done on the stovetop pretty quickly. So that's our frittata with shiitake mushroom and goat cheese. High in protein, low in carbs, a great way to start the day. Now rather than serve this with our traditional side of home fries, we're going to serve it with some of our oatmeal. So let's go back to our oatmeal. You can see that the liquid has been absorbed, the oatmeal is nice and soft, that's ready to go. So let's get a dish to serve that in. We're just going to have a small amount, about a half a cup, with our frittata. Again, you're adding some carbs, but they're good quality carbs. If you'd like to sweeten it, we have a little bit of our stevia right on top. This is a 0-calorie sugar substitute. We can add a few berries. Blueberries, high in antioxidants. If you'd like to make a meal of just the oatmeal, you can go with double the serving, and you'll have about 26 grams of good quality carbs. So that's our egg white frittata with shiitake mushrooms and goat cheese, with a side of steel-cut oatmeal with blueberries. A great way to start your day, high in protein, low in carbs.